Have you ever taken a look at the physiognomy of a nice guy? Have you seen what they look like? They typically look like a sack of oatmeal or they look like a pencil neck. And there's a common correlation around this because when you get jacked, you lose a lot of the bullshit that you have in your brain around how society works. You stop feeling bad for people. You stop looking at people as just, oh, I feel bad for them, so I have to help them. I have to save. You have that Superman cape that you put on you every time you want to save a woman in her troubles, and you get used and rinsed and washed by her. That Superman cape that you put on sales calls when you're in business because you want to give somebody the best deal. You don't want to make them feel uncomfortable on the call. That's nice guy syndrome. But what happens when you get jacked? All of that goes away. All of it. You getting jacked makes you understand how hard life truly is. Because when you need to get down below 15% body fat, when you need to be focused and disciplined on the foods that you eat, when you go and you train and you don't want to go to the gym that day, but you do it anyway, everyone else that does not do the actions that they need to do to be as healthy and as in shape as possible, you're going to look down on them. And this is why a lot of the nice guys, they always lean towards liberalism, right? Oh yeah, now we're getting crazy. They always lean towards the left, like far, far radical left. I'm a moderate, right? I'm not necessarily super conservative, super liberal, either or. You'll notice that a lot of the nice guys have this characteristic where they just feel bad for society, and they always want to just like help everybody. And what happens? They start to decay in real time. Mentally, they start to decay. Physically, they start to decay because what do the nice guys do? They always go to parties, right? And when they go to parties, they have to drink because everyone's forcing them to drink. You're not a man, bro. You're not a man if people have to force you to drink and you say yes because you can't make somebody upset. You're not a man if a woman is literally dictating your whole life, telling you what to do, telling you shouldn't start that business because it's too risky, telling you shouldn't go to the gym because she likes your dad bod. You're not a man, bro. You're a nice boy. I don't even want to say nice guys anymore. I just want to say nice boy, because nice guys have not experienced hardship in life. They haven't. And if they are experiencing hardship, they don't even know that they are. They just think the whole world is against them. They think that's the reason why I'm in the position that I'm in right now, is because life is just hard. Life is unfair. Life is one of the most fair things that you'll ever experience, ever. Life. It's fair. Trust me. You may be saying, well, Martell, what about all those people who are suffering? Yes, there are people who suffer, and it's unfortunate. And the cards that they were dealt, I feel bad for them to a certain extent. But that does not make me their savior. It doesn't. Because everyone, when you start trying to make other people your savior, that's when you're going to start losing yourself, and you're going to start losing your progress, and you're going to fall down, and you're not going to be able to save yourself. Because what happens when you're down? Who saves you? Who saves you? Now, yes, if you're rich, you can be a philanthropist, 100%. You should be a philanthropist. When you have an excess, absolutely give. That's how the universe works. But I don't understand the nice guys who they don't have anything. They don't even have their health. They're struggling, and they feel bad for somebody else. If that's you, you need to cut that completely. You need to kill the nice guy immediately. And the best way to do that is getting jacked, I promise you. I'm not just saying this as propaganda, as something that I'm just trying to fit a puzzle piece in. It genuinely changed my entire physiognomy in terms of my physical state, and it changed my mental fortitude, because at a certain point, I stopped feeling bad for. This is what conservatives don't feel bad for anybody. They don't. They simply do things based on objective logic. When you look at the far, far, far left, the hyper liberals, they do things based on emotions. And when you do things based on emotions, that's nice guys. Nice guys are hyper emotional for a reason. There's this meme that goes around that says men who are jacked tend to be far right. And the reason for this is because they just stop seeing everything as excuses. They like when you're in the gym and you're training as hard as possible, and you get past your excuses, you don't look at the other person who makes excuses on why they're fat or why they're skinny and they can't do this and they can't do that. You look at them like, bro, you're a shit human being. And you need to, and it sounds really brutal, but a lot of this goes through your heads. You guys that are already jacked, you guys that have already put in the work, even in business, the hardship of business mirrors a lot of the hardship of getting in shape. A lot of the progressive overload that you have to do. in terms of learning, stacking new skills left and right just to be able to make one sale. Having to understand what business even is, having to understand how to communicate with people who are shitheads. Like that's the reality of business, dealing with people, dealing with all kinds of people. Yes, you'll get lucky and you'll have some easy deals. You'll have people who they're on the same wavelength as you. Absolutely. But business is literally all about dealing with bullshit. And that's the same with getting jacked. It's dealing with bullshit, literally. When it comes to the bullshit foods that you eat, when it comes to the bullshit habits that you do, all of that stuff is handled when you're getting jacked. So then when you go into society and you look at mediocrity, you just shake your head and you almost have a hatred for society to a certain extent. This is why I say Thanos was always right. If you've ever watched the Marvel movie with Thanos, he talks about wanting to wipe out half the population or something. He got to a point where he just hated how half of the population functioned. And he realized that could permeate across the entire metaverse or universe, however you want to say it. And I'm not advocating for that in real life, but I understand the concept. I understand how somebody like Thanos, who's extra powerful, who's probably been through a lot as a Titan, could come to that conclusion. And I think a lot of men end up coming to that conclusion, which is why they start hating society, because they realize that society is filled with average people who don't like to take action, who don't like to actually make decisions, who like to sit in the shadows and complain about why things are not working for them, who like to always try to help other people without even helping themselves. And then when they fall down, they expect for somebody else to help them. And that's just not the reality of the game. That's not how life works. And you have to be able to go through your own triumphs, your own tribulations, your own life to be able to understand this. I had to go through that period. When I was skinny, I was always feeling bad for everybody else. I was feeling bad for myself. I never took action. The minute I started taking action, I started to realize this shit is easy. This thing called life is not as hard as I thought it was. It's hard, but it's not as hard as I thought it was if I just put in some effort. If I simply just put in some effort. But a lot of people, they don't want to put in effort because it is hard, because they're soft. When you go to the gym, you become physically harder, but you also become mentally harder because you have to push past limits. Most of society has never seen a limit in their entire life. A lot of men nowadays have never seen a limit. They've never reached their limit and tried to push past it. They always sit for comfort. There's a time for comfort, but there's also a time for pain. And I'm telling you right now, the best way, the lowest barrier to entry for pain is going to the gym. It's training as hard as you can. It's making a big transformation in your body. Because when you finally make that transformation, you realize everything is possible. You realize the goals that you thought were super hard are possible. You realize the business that you wanted to start was actually easy. I could do this. If I could put 400 pounds on my back, why can't I start a business? Like your psychological state changes as well as your physiological state. It's both. Like the people who've done this before, the people who've gone through massive transformations can tell you this in real time. I don't want to be the person who says this. People in the comments will tell you that their views have changed after getting jacked. The reason for that, and I've already told you this before, but the biggest reason is they just stop feeling bad for mediocrity. The nice guy syndrome goes away. You're not supposed to be nice, bro. You're supposed to be a kind gentleman, right? You're supposed to treat people with respect, but you're not supposed to be this nice guy that gets pushed over. That's why society has the type of men that they have right now. The type of men who are soy boys, right? They follow the vegan diet, which makes you softer. And then they get cucked by their wife, or they get cucked by society, or they get cucked by the job that they're in. Because they've never actually dealt with hardship. They have to have some layer of support to be able to even just sustain their life. There's no autonomy in their entire being. When you go and you get jacked, when you go and make that transformation, you develop autonomy because you're doing it yourself. You're dragging your ass to the gym and you're actually training. You're actually pushing yourself to do weights that you never thought were imaginable. You're tired, you're huffing and puffing, and you're trying to figure out, can I keep going? And you just keep going. And then when you get in real life, everything feels easy. Now, a step above that is fighting, which is what I did. What I'm doing right now is fighting. That's another level, which pushes you to an immense degree. It literally eradicates any type of nice guy syndrome that you could possibly have. But there's a lot of people, they haven't even gotten the foundation of their physique yet. So, I mean, I wouldn't even look at fighting if I didn't have the physique that I had, right? But you have to understand that if you're not jacked and you feel like you have nice guy syndrome, the first thing you need to do is get in the gym. The first thing you need to do is follow a training program. The first thing you need to do is be disciplined in your diet, because the minute that you do that, everything in your life will change. The way that you look at human beings around you will change. It is a very painful process though, because I got to a point where I was looking at humans and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Why can't they understand that the goals that they keep saying that they want, they've never actually put in the actions to make that goal a reality, which is why they're stuck in the nonsense, the bullshit, the mud that they're in. The autonomy that I developed was insane. The way that I looked at how people are moving in society, it forces you to really analyze yourself, which then you can easily analyze other people and figure out where their problems are. But see, the thing is, I don't say it out loud. If somebody complains, I just look at them like, okay, you don't understand yourself. You don't understand the world. You don't understand how the world works. I'm not going to be a nice guy and pat somebody on the back and say, oh, you felt bad. She broke up with you. I'm so sorry that happened. I'll say it if I need to, but I don't really understand that. Because at the end of the day, you're a man and there are millions of women out there. Why are you feeling bad for the one woman that you're not with anymore? Why? Oh, because you built a bond over the last 5 to 10 years. Okay, well, the bond is gone. This is what I'm saying. This mindset sounds crazy. I sound like a hypomaniac right now. I sound crazy. But you'll start to understand this once you finally develop your body and once you finally see some changes in your life by just taking action. Once you finally stop making excuses. Once you finally put your emotions to the side for 1 hour a day. You'll finally understand why society is where it's at. You'll understand why men are where they're at. You'll also understand how everyone can fix their problems. If they just took some action, if they just solved some problems, if they became competent, if they finally got in the gym and they built a strong body. Because here's the reality, right? When you build a strong body, it doesn't matter what life throws at you. You still have that strong body to hang your head around. I've had times where I've went to zero. Didn't turn me into a nice guy at all. Didn't start pandering to people because I felt bad for myself. That's what nice guys do, by the way. When they get financially broke, they start to pander to everybody. They start to call everybody and try to get sympathy from everybody because they feel bad about themselves. No, I built a strong body. I'm not at zero. If anything, I can build back up very easily because I still have the foundation. But that's what you need to build as a man, is the foundation. Or else you're literally going to be a weak worm that walks around spineless, trying to please everybody but yourself. Going to the gym is an act of pleasure to yourself. Pause. But it is, though. It's an act of pleasure to yourself because you're genuinely doing something for you for the first time in your life. Hiring a fitness coach. I've had guys who started to work with me and they're like, bro, I felt so good just investing in myself because I finally did something for myself. When you go to the club and you buy those tables, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for everyone else to feel some type of way about you because you don't have some sort of self-respect to be able to respect where you're at, who you are. When you go out and you eat a bunch of junk food and you don't dial in on your diet, you're doing that because you feel bad about yourself. If you respected yourself, you wouldn't do that shit. When you get jacked, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I ate McDonald's the other day. I don't give a fuck. I feel great. Because my body's just like, it does its thing. Right? But if I'm a nice guy, I'll be like, I can't eat that and I can't tell my subscribers that because they're going to think that I'm not healthy and I can't. Who gives a fuck, bro? Who genuinely cares? Live your life. Live your life to the fullest. Do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy and not even happy. Fuck happiness. Do what makes you proud of yourself. Do what makes you proud of yourself. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Take your emotions out of it. Take it all out. Have massive respect for yourself to the point where it's a non-negotiable to be jacked. It's a non-negotiable to be rich. It's a non-negotiable to be respected. It's a non-negotiable to have the most beautiful woman that you could possibly have. It's a non-negotiable for that woman to respect you more than anybody else in the world. Obviously, God is first, but you get the point. You can't. A lot of men can't do it. Nice guy syndrome. Put on the cape. Bro, turn into fucking Thanos, bro. Turn into Thanos. Get your infinity stones up. Go get all of them. Go physically jacked, mentally jacked, spiritually jacked, financially jacked, socially. Get it all. Get it all, bro. Become Thanos. Snap your fingers and kill off all of the nice guys that are in your life. All of the weak men that are in your life. Just completely put them to the wayside because they don't belong around you. And if you're attracting nice guys, it's because you're one yourself. Because nice guys can't take people that give them brutal honesty. See, when I'm in society, I try really hard to keep my mouth shut. I don't talk as much because I know that my views and the way that I look at the world, the way that I analyze things, my BS meter is so tuned in that all of the nonsense, all of the bullshit, all of the excuses that average people always like to say, it just disgusts me to the point where I don't even want to have conversations with people. I just, yeah, you're fat because it's just hard because food and it's so good. I understand. I get it. Fucking sheep, bro. But again, that's the society we live in. That's the society we live in. And then boys, when you have a child, right? Because I'm always thinking about fatherhood now because I'm moving into that chapter very soon. Not yet, guys. So don't be saying, "Oh, he's gonna have a kid right now." No, I'm just saying, like I'm close to that. I'm 27, right? And you might be thinking, "Well, Martel, you have so much time." No, my goal is to populate the earth with my genetics. You know what I mean? I want to have a new generation of strong boys that turn into men that can do way better than I could ever do in my life. And when I think about that, I think about how easy it is for them to turn into nice guys. How easy it is for anybody to walk on them, for a woman to walk on them. I know my sons are going to be incredibly rich. And they're going to be disciplined as well because I'm going to put them in martial arts. But I know how easy it is for a rich guy to be the nice guy that gives away all his money to women because he has to pander to them. That loses on business deals, that loses all his money on business deals because he feels like he can't stick up for himself. They're going to be fucking jacked, by the way, at a young age. People are going to think that, oh, there's no way. No, yes, there is way. It's going to happen. You got to speak things into existence, by the way. Nice guys can't speak things into existence. It's the same with getting jacked. You've spoken that you're going to get in the best shape of your life and you've taken the actions to do it. Now you feel confident speaking anything into existence. That's where you need to get to. All right. I'm done with my rant, though. My rant's been crazy, but I appreciate y'all. And I hope that you learned a thing or two around this concept, around this nice guy syndrome and how getting jacked can actually break that, how it can open up the veil that's clogging your eyesight around success and around becoming the best version of yourself, becoming a competent man. It is possible. You just need to get in the best shape of your life, to experience some pain in your life, to actually push through some limiting beliefs, some limiting struggles that you have, and things will work out. I'm on a roll today, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm about to hop on this call, but I'll catch y'all in the next video. If you're interested in working with me in terms of building your physique, that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm helping men with right now. I don't have a desire to help with anything else at the moment. Maybe in the near future I might, but right now I think a lot of men are missing a lot of opportunities because they're just not in the best shape that they could be. So if you need help with that and genuinely need help, don't fish for free information because you have that on my YouTube channel. But if you need implementation and you're ready to invest in yourself, link will be in the description. I will be available. I will be on these calls and I will be talking to you. I don't want nice guys on here. If you're a nice guy, but you're trying to break out of it, cool. Make that decision when you talk to me. Don't tell me I got to think about it. That's what nice guys do. I need to think about it when really you want to say no. So just saying. All right. Appreciate you. I'll catch you on the next video.